So, cool. So let's dive into Proud Puff cereal.
Let's do it.
Let us know how it was created and how it was thought of. I was reading about how you came up with the idea, and I mean, that's just a blessing. But go ahead and let the people know.
Yeah, man. So I can't take credit for it at all.
Mm.
I'll say God gave me an alley oop. I never. It's like we talked about earlier. You mentioned earlier. You haven't really seen too many people in that space, especially like a newer brand, per se, or even a black owned cereal company. It's
Yeah.
nothing that I would have ever really thought about, imagined, considered. So that's why I kind of give God credit. I say divine inspiration. Imagine sleeping and then you kind of someone whispers something to you, you wake up and it's, something that you're thinking about. And you're like, where did that come from? That's
Mm.
kind of where the Proud Puff idea came from. I woke up and cereal company was on my mind. As bizarre as that sounds, it's what happened. So, after
Mm.
doing some
Yeah.
research, I realized there was definitely a lack of representation of us in, the black and brown community, especially on shelf space. So I put
Hmm.
some time, I put some research, a couple months of work, man, and here we are.
Talk to us about the thought process behind the branding. And if you have a box near you, I think it'd be pretty cool to show
I do.
for the YouTube audience. Um, if you guys are listening to the podcast, we are on YouTube as well. We chop up this content, we throw it on Instagram. In addition, but this whole episode is going to be on YouTube. And he has the box here, so you can walk us through the branding, what you have on the box, and yeah, I'm
Definitely.
sure you don't want to give away everything. They got to buy the product to get the
Yeah,
full
no, man,
experience.
it's all
But
good. It's all
okay.
good. I mean, so I'll break it down. It's real simple. After kind of coming up with the whole, the Proud Puff idea, I was like, all
Hmm.
right, you know what? I started thinking about like proud. What is proud embody? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
What's solidarity? What's empowerment? What ties into proud? And that's kind of where the little chocolate fist came in. So, that was one of the easier ideas. But then also because my company is called Legacy Cereal Company, what ties into legacy is my family. So the characters that you see on the front are not just random characters. It's actually my family. It's my son, my sisters, my nieces, and my nephew. So that
Mm.
tied into the box, man. Some people are like, why do you have so many characters on there? I'm like, well, I just want to showcase my family. You know what I mean? This is my legacy, and it kind of reminds me every day when I look at the box. Why I
Hmm.
actually do this.
Man, I think it's so dope, man. It's an
Appreciate
amazing
it.
idea. What are some of the details that you have, maybe on the side and the back of
Yeah.
the box as well?
Perfect for Black History, man. The side of the
Absolutely.
box, we list 20 influential Black figures that help push the culture forward. So,
Mm.
it starts with Madam C.J. Walker, Katherine Johnson, had to throw the Obamas on there, Jackie Robinson, Arthur Ashe. And just because not just because, but also because it's current, you know, um, I had to add Chadwick Boseman just because of his
Hmm.
impact. I think a lot of people underestimate the impact that he had with Black
No,
Panther. Giving
definitely.
Black and brown kids, that opportunity to see a superhero that looked like them is was
Hmm.
huge, and that was
Absolutely.
inspirational for me for sure. And in the back, man, my favorite part, man, I've always tell people, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
There it is. Yep. Yep.
It's affirmation word search.
Wow.
So it says,
This is
there's
so dope.
I appreciate it, man. It says, so it's a game, and it says,
Mm.
say I am, and then the word that you find. So
Mm.
kids can find a word and they can say, I'm unstoppable, I am brave, I'm kind, I'm protected, I'm enough. And they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it's like, why not start with an affirmation? Why not get our kids to start speaking, positivity into themselves before they go outside and have to face the cruel world, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. That's amazing. Um, I'm curious to know what's the process behind the flavors and the ingredients. Earlier we mentioned it's gluten free and
Yep.
vegan.
Yep.
How does that process even work? Like, I don't even know how you to begin to make cereal. Like, do you
Right.
go to a factory? Like, how does this work?
It's man, you would think so for our samples, I
Hmm.
needed a prototype. This kind
Okay.
of again goes into God connecting the dots. Maybe
Yeah.
two or 3 days later. I was going to get a haircut. Long story short, the barber a couple chairs down from my barber just randomly says, hey, if anybody wants to buy a 3D printer, I'm selling mine. So, I'm kind of sitting in my chair like, 3D printer, so I pull him aside, towards the end, and I'm like, you 3D print? He was like, yeah. And I was like, if I needed you to make, a mold of a little chocolate fist, could you do it? And he was like, yeah, no problem. I'll have it in like 2 days. So that was the start of, building out the mold of the fist. And then I got that to a family friend who's phenomenal at baking, and she made the prototype. And then from there, the biggest thing is working with a food scientist, working with someone that actually went to school for food science and nutrition. So you can actually break down a formulation of, what you want the nutritional value to be, plant-based, plant-based, vegan, gluten-free, etc. So that part is an actual process, but I think the idea in short is the idea of starting a cereal company sounds a lot harder than it actually really is. It's just kind of doing as much research as you can find and then implementing, actionable items from there.